Getting ready to go. We'll call this committee of the whole meeting to order on October 14th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, is there anybody that would like to speak under public participation this evening? Okay, for the record, there is no public participation. The first item on tonight's agenda is Todd Henry with Work Camp Lincoln 2026 sponsorship. Todd?
Hello. Well, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I warned you they were coming. And then a couple years later, I said they were coming again. And I'm here now to tell you in 2026, they're coming again, but more of them. So in 21 and 24, we had 200 plus teenagers and youth workers invade Logan County. And now we already have over 300 signed up to come June 21st to 27th of next year. And for those of you who are new to the Work Camp for Lincoln, it might make you a little nervous, given that teenagers get a bad rap. 300 teenagers invading our county. What are they going to do? What are they going to mess up? They're not going to be loitering around and breaking things. Well, they might break a few things, but that'd be demo. But actually, they're going to be doing some incredible work and changing the landscape and repairing homes and repairing lives all over Logan County. So I've got a little video to show you for those of you that are new to Work Camp. Apologies that it's a couple years old, so a couple of the politicians in there, I'm not sure that they're still currently serving some of the people in there, but it gave us some, yeah, go ahead.
You ready?
That's true. Good point. Yeah.
Work camps are high-energy, week-long home repair mission trips that serve low-income, elderly, and disabled residents by improving their homes and lives. Well, I think this really shows the importance of local communities, local churches, local people stepping forward and doing good things for their communities. And when you look at these homes that are having things done to them, probably things that people have wanted to do for their homes for a long time, they don't have the money to do it. The government's not doing it for them. And this is really the true essence of community, when people step forward to do things for their friends and neighbors, for other families in town. And it really is really what this country is based on, is people stepping forward and doing volunteer activities to help their neighbors. And it's a great thing to see in action.
What really jumped out at me is the work ethic of these middle school and high schoolers. So, doing any type of trade, construction, ramp builds, that's really hard, and that's not something that's very easy. But I am a firm believer in when you learn those kind of skills, that's something that travels with you for life.
I think that the ability to empower teens and make them feel like they have value in helping will only provide them the ability as they grow older to understand that they can give back, whether that's in a small portion or a big portion, like building a ramp or painting an entire house. It just gives them value, and that's something I see that teens nowadays struggle with.
As you can see when you look around our neighborhoods, there's a lot of places that need extra assistance. And there's some people that won't go out and reach directly to the government and ask for assistance, but they'd ask their neighbor or community instead. And that's more of a unity. It's more of a thing that makes you feel compelled to do something for your fellow neighbor rather than ask the government for assistance.
I don't know how to even begin to thank the kids for what they're doing. It's just amazing that you have kids do these things. Most towns don't have this kind of setup where they come in and help elderly people or people that need help.
And I beg of you out there, please, please take my word because it comes from the heart. Support your work camp.
I am grateful.
I am 1,000% in for work camp.
I am totally stoked for work camp.
I am thankful for work camp.
I'm pumped for work camp.
I am so thankful for work camp.
I'm blessed, truly blessed.
Yeah, if you could just freeze it on that, just to pause it there with the. So those of you that are new, Work Camp for Lincoln, I actually have worked with this organization for 26 years now. I'm a school teacher. I'm a special ed junior high guy out at West Lincoln Broadwell. But I'm head dishwasher for this Work Camp for Lincoln. That's my new title. And for 26 years, I've been traveling around the country during the summers helping lead these work camps with students. In 2020, I kind of had a vision for like we're doing this every place else. Why can't we do it at Lincoln in my own hometown? And so in 2021, that became a reality to come and to bring. And so we had a couple hundred kids and youth workers come here, building wheelchair ramps and porches and drywall and guttering and some roof patching and you name it, just all kinds of things besides maybe plumbing and electrical. We do, and actually the kids do the work. So it takes a little longer when they do it. There's some mess ups and that kind of thing and some redos, but they actually accomplish the work the teenagers do and do an amazing job. And it went so well that we got to do it again in 2024, and now in 2026, June 21st to the 27th, we're going to be coming again. It's in partnership, a tremendous partnership with Capsule, Community Action Partnership of Central Illinois, and Brianne Titus there. And they are the nonprofit entity that kind of is in partnership with the national organization out in Fort Collins, Colorado, that kind of partners to make this happen. And so we work together to do that. We are right now, we just launched like 3 or 4 weeks ago our in public launch of the event. And so now we're looking for homes to work on. And so we need those, and it's for all over Logan County. Work Camp for Lincoln, I didn't intend that to necessarily mean just the town of Lincoln. I meant for Abe Lincoln kind of thing and stuff, and I took a lot of flack from surrounding towns about that and stuff, saying, well, when I would go around and talk to them at their council meetings and things like that, saying, well, you know, you're wanting our support, but this is really for Lincoln. And no, I wanted homes all over Logan County. We just haven't found them. And so it ends up that 80% of our homes have been inside Lincoln's borders and stuff to work on stuff. But because there's 300 kids coming now, a third more, there was 200, now there's 300, our costs are up and also our the number of homes we need. We probably need 50 to 55 homes to work on next summer. So that's another thing I'm going to ask of you is I've got these cards. All you do is go to workcampforlincoln.com. And there's a sign up there. It actually takes you to Capsule's website. We have a special website there underneath their banner. And people sign up, and Capsule, it has to be homeowners. We don't work for landlords, and so it has to be someone that owns their home. It's typically veterans, senior citizens, disabled, or lower income folks. But we don't have a poverty line kind of stretch. You don't say that you have to be this poor or that kind of thing. Every time we've done this, I've had a couple ladies come to me off to the side, some senior citizens, and say, I'm not poor, but I really need a wheelchair ramp. Can I help pay some of the expenses or that kind of thing? Can we do that? And absolutely. And so we don't really box it off like that because you just never know the need that's in someone's home, you know, not judging a book by its cover. So also, you guys have been very generous over the last 2 times stuff and giving to it. I think last go around it was $5,000. I'm just asking for $6,500 this time, just because, like I said, with going from 200 to 300 kids, and I understand I'm not an expert in the lumber side and the building part, but I understand that building materials are getting more and more expensive, and so our budget's going to go up quite a bit for 2026. And yeah, we covet your support. And that should be a great thing. We're really excited about it. So, any question on how the program runs or what it is or anything?
Alderman Parrott?
I don't have any questions. I know that a few of us on the council have at least went on a tour that you guys taken us out, and it's tremendous support from the teenagers and adults alike, the community, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to get involved again and help you guys with this. And it's I think another testament to coming back to Lincoln as far as I think the accommodations that we're able to help offer to support the students that come, and maybe that's another reason why we're able to come back. But we're very fortunate for the support and the help that for the people that are receiving it here in Lincoln, but also for the students as a missions opportunity for spiritual growth as well.
Yeah, I mean, it really is being the hands and feet, not just saying what you believe, but doing it. And yeah, I should mention that we in 2021 we had some other plans where they kind of fell through, and so we went out to LCU in 2021. They was LCU at the time, and was great. A typical work camp is on the floor on air mattresses at a school, which is fine stuff, and kind of roughing it a little bit and that kind of thing. And out at LCU, they had beds and air-conditioned rooms and that kind of thing. And we've continued now that Open Arms is there. We're there in 24, and we will be in 26 as well in dorm rooms. And I take a little bit of flack from some of my friends in the organization. They're like, that's not a real work camp, you're not roughing it. But all I know is my people are really rested in a good mood when they're working every day. We get a lot done. So it is great facilities that we have out there. That's where we kind of house everything, and our programs in the gym and the cafeteria, and everybody's out there. And they come from all over. I think on your sheet that I just gave you, it just kind of did a breakdown of what we accomplished. And you'll see the different states that people came from as far away as South Carolina and Michigan, Nebraska, whatnot. And it's been very popular, I think partly because of the accommodations, and partly just because, one of my goals was that when we do this, that people in Lincoln, everybody would know about it. So when these people come from out of state, that people would recognize and kind of encourage them. And that was true. People said that when they went to Casey's or they went to Walmart or a different place like that, and they had these shirts on, people were like, I know why you're here. Thanks so much for serving. Thanks so much for being a part of this and making a difference in our community. And I think people felt that in a big way. And like I said, working with Capsule, it's not a single church thing. We have tons of several churches involved. We have several businesses, several individuals, and so it's really a true collaborative community effort. I'm really proud that we've been able to spread that support in that way to get a lot done. So,
Well, I think we're pretty fortunate to have you leading this effort and to make that type of investment in Lincoln. As Steve said, anytime you can get 300 kids together to do something such as this, it's great. And, we need more people in technical trades. And I think this is a really good way to get them acclimated to that. But to your point about LCU, I think it's also a testament to our community and how they support it and how they step up to help the effort and make it a reality. So, yeah. Thank you for all that you do to bring this to us. We appreciate it. Ms. Bateman?
Are there any local teenagers, Logan County teenagers that help, or are they just all from?
I wish there were. Actually, in 2021, we did have we had two things. One, a real shot in the arm was we had Karen Elaine, who was in the video. I don't know if you recognized her, but from Good Bones Show on HGTV. And I happened to connect with her, and she came for the entire week and served on a crew all week long with 6 girls from Lincoln, Illinois, on an all-woman crew, and did an incredible job and built a wheelchair ramp and did that kind of thing. I'm a former youth pastor that took these trips to different other countries and different places like that, and kids, when they want to do a missions trip, want to travel, and so it's not real sexy to say, hey, let's do a big mission trip right here in our town, kind of thing. So I thought, oh, really? We aren't going to travel on this road trip and go whitewater rafting also and do this kind of stuff, And so, there is a cost to it, the registration, and to do that. And I wish that they would, but it just, it's a hard sell to get that kind of thing, stuff like that. And it really has to be, it's something because of background checks in the program that you can't just have kids come in and serve for a day locally in with the residents and all the other students and that kind of thing. And so we do have tons of adult volunteers. We probably have 75 or so that help out a lot. Guys and gals that are helping teach the kids how to use the power tools and build stuff and helping host and feed meals and things like that. And then I've involved several youth groups. Even simple things like when everybody arrives on Sunday afternoon, having other youth groups from town take their luggage in for them and just kind of welcome them and get to know them and that kind of thing. So,
Alderman Parrott.
I'm pretty sure Lincoln cannot provide whitewater rafting for students, for kids coming in, teenagers and such. But perhaps we could offer a museum ticket or something to that effect.
Well, we've actually been, so two things I forgot to mention. One, just economic impact, which bleeds into that. But, everybody's spending money here. All the materials, we do RP Lumber and Sherwin-Williams, so we don't go out to the box stores and that kind of thing. But one of my side passion things has been on that Wednesday, we work for a half day. And then they can do whatever they want to kind of goof off and sightsee or whatever until 7:30 that night. So it goes through supper on their own. So for two reasons, I typically throw a big party or kind of provide options for them to do. One, because we don't have whitewater rafting and that kind of thing here in Lincoln. So what do? You have to go to Peoria, Bloomington, whatever, and there's limited options. So I provide something fun for them to do. And we've been real successful. VIP Cinemas gave free movies to anybody that wanted to that day. They were new release movies. We worked with the bowling alley in the past, and I've put a concert on out at Open Arms before, different things like that. But another reason I want to keep them into town on that day is because I want them then when they eat supper to do it in my town stuff. And so then to inject more into the community as well and not go somewhere else and spend their dollars even in recreation and stuff and that. And
So you're already working on the entertainment and things like that? Because I know you and I talked one year about the movies and things like that. So
yeah, they hooked. I wish I could remember the owner's name, but they really did.
Mark McSparron.
Yeah. They did last year. It was anybody that wanted to come and free movies and new releases. I thought it was going to be like we bring our DVD and do a little, but it was like whatever you want to watch. Great, and it was very generous and
yeah, really good. Okay, well, if there's anything you need from us, let us know. Glad to help. Okay, any other questions for Todd? Okay, so I'd like to go ahead and put this on the agenda for next week and vote on it. Voting on it doesn't mean we're going to fund it this year. That's something that we'll talk about during budget discussions for next year. But I'd like to go ahead and at least if the council is interested, make that commitment to Todd so that he knows that the city is all in again for the next cycle. So council, okay if we put this on the regular agenda? Okay, great. Okay, Todd, thank you very much. Okay, next item on the agenda is item number 5, request to permit Lincoln Winter Wonderland Festival Friday, November 28th, 2025 from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the tree lighting ceremony. Is everybody okay if we place this on the consent agenda? Okay, we'll place item number 5 on the consent agenda. Okay, the next item is number 6, request to permit Brew 66 Coffee Trailer. Parking spot closure request every Sunday in the month of October, November, and December across from Ink and Print Books at 125 North Kickapoo. So you might be saying, what is a parking spot closure request? We've had these in the past, and I have just approved them or had conversations. I felt that if we're doing road closure requests, that it would be appropriate for the council to at least hear parking spot closure request too and weigh in on those decisions as well. So this is a new form that Peggy's office, I believe, crafted up and partnered. Did Ashley help with that one too? Yeah. So they worked together on it to get it put together. Her office still takes in these requests. So this is actually our first one, I believe. Peggy, did you want to talk about this one since it's got a special caveat to it?
Since if you decide to go ahead and put this on the voting session, which would be consent agenda, we don't vote till the 20th, but I was asked today if you would grant them to go ahead and do it the 19th, which is the day before the voting which that's the next Sunday in October.
Mr. Bateman.
Ask.
Didn't mean to interrupt you like I do at home.
Can you,
He called my name.
Kevin, did you want to speak? Okay.
No, that's
Oh, I thought
that's
she
it.
was
Just-
done.
That's it. She just wanted to know if if you would go ahead and grant it for the 19th, since you guys are voting on the 20th,
Now Alderman Bateman.
Monday night.
This for Monday night, yeah. Since the popularity, and I know I talked about this a few years ago, the popularity of food trucks, is there a way we can change this form to where a food truck can ask for 1 or maybe 2 parking spots so people can stand in line without council approval, like we've got other forms where the mayor and the department heads would have to sign off on it? So like if I came in on a Monday and say a downtown business got a hold of me and they want to sponsor a food truck on that Friday or something, where as long as they fill out the form, they have the insurance, all that other stuff, then it would just take the 3 department heads' signatures, or 4 with Walt.
Well, so it's kind of been the Wild West leading up until now, where I get a request the day before or 2 days before. And some of these requests have been in the downtown area. And there are obviously things that we have to consider when we do things in the downtown area. I want to make sure the aldermen are aware of what's going on, the police department, et cetera. And so that's why, in my opinion, this form is a good thing, because it makes people think in advance of what they would like to do. It gives us enough time to vet it, and the departments enough time to plan accordingly. I don't want to really get back into the business of just arbitrarily approving things. So, I mean, if you have some suggestions, I'm open to it, but I just want to make sure that the council weighs in and we're not just rushing things through the process.
That's my suggestion, because I work with a lot of food trucks, not just here, but in Springfield where I work. And a lot of times it's based on weather forecasts and stuff. So I'm trying to
Yeah, but you're
make it a little quicker, or a little bit more business friendly, I guess, instead of, hey, you're going to have to wait, we don't vote for 2 week type thing.
but yours isn't in the street. It doesn't have. It's not comparing.
If
the
you do it
same
in a
thing.
parking lot, it's not a problem. But, and I'm not in that business, but I would assume that if a truck for coffee, food, whatever is going to come to town, they have to plan ahead for that, right? So if they're planning ahead to be in town, they should plan ahead to get permission to be where they want to be too. If it's in a city, at least in a city street.
It's just a suggestion, because I know how fast things move in that world.
I guess I'd open it up to the council. Steve, and then Rhonda, did you have your hand up?
Sam, you go first, then I'll go.
Mr. Downs.
I had just a question about this specific closure. Is this going to be right in front of Rio Grande?
No, it'll be like more next to the Welcome Park,
Okay, cool.
across the street from the bookstore. Yeah, the bookstore's just down a little further. Yeah.
Mr. Parrott.
So, Kevin, what happens if it's just a food truck that just wants to come into town but is not involved in a business at all? They just want to sell a product, And then also, the businesses in the downtown, they pay taxes for the properties where they're at, and we're just giving away free parking spaces. If I was a business owner downtown, I wouldn't be too happy.
Well, some business owners have actually made these requests.
That's why I'm saying I don't know all the details to it,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying.
The requests are coming from downtown business owners.
Yeah, I didn't know who was it requesting other than
Statement.
this Bruce 66 I see here.
When this came all up, the Tracy wanted this created and stuff. I actually sent this to Kathy Williams, because the downtown businesses have a monthly meeting, and I gave this to her and said, please pass this along. So if any of you want to do something extra for your business, this has to be approved.
Okay.
So it was just a little timing issue here, but that's how.
Okay.
So with her downtown businesses,
about
they
it.
should know that they have to go through this in the 2 week span.
Thank you.
Mr. Hoblet?
So typically, municipalities, the city council has to, if there's something creating a property right of some sort, you have to have that city council approval. You know, even when you put something like on a city street, you're kind of construed to be a property right, so to speak. Now, I can look in to see if, like say, by ordinance, that a city council can offset that, and that's their approval. I can always look into that. Typically, if you're going to be doing any type of property rights, that has to be vetted through the city council first.
And I just had this thought. So if they're going to set that up in across the street from the bookstore in that parking spot, what Kevin said kind of got me thinking. Is there going to be enough room for people to actually go up to the trailer, order something, and stand and wait for it? That's a narrow road.
The trailers is
Yeah, it depends on which way they face the
Flip it
trailer.
around. Okay, as long as they're flipped around.
And I can mention that to her when I.
Okay. All right. Other thoughts? Okay. We okay if we place this on the consent agenda? Yeah, so if we place it on the consent agenda, the council is okay if they go ahead and operate on the 19th, knowing that we won't actually approve this request for all of those dates until the 20th. Does the council have any concerns with that? Okay, there are no concerns for the record. Okay. Yep, Mr. Anderson.
I know Kevin likes to deal with this an awful lot, but if there's a request for electricity, do they need to mark it on here, or is there anything for electricity, water? They're on their own if they're food truck coming?
We didn't put that on there because all of the requests we've received to date have been self-sufficient.
Okay.
Not to say that we couldn't.
I just know
Well,
Kevin likes to.
If they want electricity, they'd have to be right up on the square if they want to use the.
I guess my recommendation is not to supply any electricity or have any costs associated to the city or whomever, whether it's manpower, to get it all set up or whatever, to tear it down. It's their business. It's their responsibility.
Yeah, and this particular business has had one of those ad hoc requests in the past that I've approved, and they come in, they set up, and then they're gone. You don't even know they're there. So,
What's
Mr. Hoblet?
What's the hours did they want?
8:30 to. Is it 8:30?
I was looking at the petition.
Yeah. Yep. 8:30 to 2 p.m. 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay. We'll go ahead and place item number 6 on the consent agenda. Any other comments, Mr. Hoblet?
No. I guess don't really see it on here, but if it's 8:30 a.m. to 2,
Well,
then
the one that's scanned in, it might not have the hours on it because I had to ask her later.
okay.
Well, that was in my actual packet. So the one that's actually scanned in might not have the hours because I found out later what the hours were. So, but it is 8:30 to 2.
We could provide an updated copy of
Yeah,
this to the council.
When it gets, I know because it was after.
But in the packet, it's not on the packet document. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Next item up is item number 7, advise and consent to the mayoral appointment of Cynthia Nutella to the Diversity and Inclusion Commission. So I met with Cynthia. She's talked with me a couple times, expressing her interest. She has a lot of good ideas too that she'd like to work with other like-minded individuals on, and I think she'd be a good fit for the commission. I've been talking with Alderman Downs about this commission for a while now. It's much like historic preservation. It's kind of in a regrowth phase, and I think Cynthia and some of the ideas that her and other new members will have will set some more clear direction, which they've been needing for a while. So optimistic, good things will come out of this, and I think she'll be a good fit. So unless there's an objection, I'd like to place it on the regular agenda. Okay. We will place item number 7 on the regular agenda. Next item up, item number 8, resolution approving the content of certain executive session meeting minutes of the City Council of the City of Lincoln. Mr. Hoblet.
This is the resolution that comes before you once every 6 months. That includes the statutory requirement that we review our executive session minutes, approve them, and if necessary, keep them closed. So you have the resolution before you with those days, which includes the date from which we are also in exec session this most recent time. So this is here for your approval, and we have passed like resolutions numerous times in the past. So
Place this on the regular agenda. Okay. We will place item number 8 on the regular agenda. Item number 9, lighting project at 500-508 Broadway Street, City Tourism and Economic Development. Ms. Bateman.
As the memo says in your packet, this is the building that was just purchased, the old bank building. The lighting was assessed. There was some track lighting in there that I think we just basically said we'll just remove because it was, don't know why it was there. So the total project of all the lights that would be switched over to is $28,340. The Ameren incentive, which is paid by Ameren, is $21,805, and the cost to the city is $6,535 is what the city would have to pay. They figured that in 14 months, estimated savings of electric bill would be $5,801 in a 14-month period. Or I'm sorry, annual savings is $5,801.16, and it would take 14 months payback for us to regain what we've spent.
Okay. Yeah, and I think this is just one of several efforts that we're taking with that new building to try to ensure that it's efficient, it's costing less to operate where we can. So this will be good. And it's consistent with what we've done at City Hall and other buildings as well. Same program.
So once this goes through, then every city building is up to par on the LED, because the police station was already good to go. The street department, they didn't have to have anything because when they remodeled and rebuilt or built, they were up to snuffs then. Yeah.
Okay, next item is item number 10, Taser contract extension renewal. Chief Meister.
Thank you. As indicated in my memo to the council, the department is currently outfitted with Taser X7 devices. Those are the electronic control devices that I'm pretty sure you're all aware of. The point of outfitting everybody with those devices is to minimize the amount of physical force, hand-to-hand type stuff that we have to do with combative suspects. The Taser X7 devices were purchased 5 years ago on a 5-year contract, which costs us about $17,000 annually. That's not just for the devices and their warranty. That's also a constant supply of cartridges that are used in those devices, a dock that is mounted in our station that we use to upload all of the device data. So those devices record every time that they're fired, the duration of the cycle that it goes through, and different things like what kind of connectivity they have with the suspect that use them on, things like that. That's all uploaded into a web-based platform that we can use as evidence later. It'll create a report for us. And then the same dock also updates firmware in those devices. They're pretty high tech. The recommended lifespan for the tasers are 5 years. So in May of 2026, they will be out of warranty, which means obviously if something happens to one of them, we've got to pay full replacement cost, and then just recommended lifespan. So in the program, Taser program project summary that I provided with you guys, it kind of explains that these high voltage devices will kind of wear down over time. It's kind of like how a car does, you know. After a while, it's not the same car it was when you drove it off the lot. So same deal with these devices. I was approached by our Axon representative and provided with this summary and an offer to an early extension, but also a new device called the TASER 10. So to explain a little bit how the TASER 7 works is kind of a pistol-looking device that has 2 cartridges in it. Each cartridge has 2 probes. One probe is set at 3.5 degrees for a longer range, so it doesn't spread out quite as much, because when you fire one of those cartridges, 2 probes come out at once. So they're set to 3.5 degrees for a longer range, and then 12 degrees for a closer range, so you get a better spread. Those probes, when they connect to a human body, have to be spread out a certain extent to get the full effect, if you want to say it that way. Because electricity passes between those probes and it disrupts muscle function, is how it works. When you fire one of those probes set at a certain degree, you don't get to pick where both of them go. So there is room for error with those. Typically, when you look at a target, whether it be static or a human in a live environment, you look at your top, basically your top sight, and that's your top probe. You don't look at the bottom one so much. It's hard to focus on 2 things at once. It's really easy to miss with that bottom one. So what TASER has done with their new product, the TASER 10, is they have a 10 probe cartridge, but you only fire 1 probe at a time. So you get to pick your spread no matter what your distance from the aggressor is. They've done away with the drive stun function on the TASER 10. There's a few reasons behind that. One, it's a pain compliance thing only. It's to get people away from you. Basically, it's a cattle prod that hurts really bad. And they don't recommend using that anymore. It's caused a lot of litigation because it burns people, and all it is it just hurts. It doesn't disrupt muscle function. It just gets, hopefully, people to comply by causing them a lot of discomfort in a short amount of time. So since they've done away with that single shot 10 probe cartridge allows an officer to fire a probe at close range and then pick a spread so that they actually get muscle disruption with that new device. It's also increased the maximum range to almost 45 feet versus 25 in the TASER 7 and the really older ones, the TASER X26, which is what we had when I got here 13 years ago and some change. So that increased maximum range really helps guys out with being able to keep your distance. So the old school methodology, like an edge weapon attack thought, is 21 feet is your fatal range. Person with a knife can get to you faster than you can draw your weapon if they're within 21 feet of you. So that extends that by almost another 20 feet, 24 feet, which is another good option. Talking pricing here, obviously we're looking at an increase, which we're looking at either way. Whether you go with the TASER 7, a renewal of those devices that we currently have, or you choose to allow the TASER 10. And looking on, I think it's page 3, looking on page 3 of the project summary, you'll see that real quick, the dates are listed as August 15th of 2025, and then every year thereafter. I reached out to the Axon rep, and he confirmed that was just a typographical error. That should say 2026, and then every year thereafter. But you'll see that the price has gone up about 5%, I suppose, because everybody likes a raise, even those that work for Axon or TASER company. So we're going to bite that bullet one way or another. But Annually for the TASER 7, if we renew that early, we're looking at a cost of $21,860 a year, or the TASER 10 at $23,810. What sets the TASER 10 price apart is that they're going to give us 5 instructor certificates. So currently we employ our own TASER instructors. We send people to school to teach others how to properly use that device. That comes in at about $850 per certificate, and that doesn't include travel and, you know, meals and all the rest of that stuff. We got to send them, outsource that training and send them to get their certification. So 5 certificates is at least $1,000 a piece. So that's a big benefit with going with the upgraded product. And then also they provide a virtual reality training software with the device as well. It's a headset that the guys put on, and TASER has a program that they go through with that virtual reality training system. So it is my recommendation to approve the TASER 10 product and an early renewal. Obviously, we won't owe them any money until contract's up to begin with, so that'll be next budget cycle. We can plan for that when we do our budget preparation in the early spring. But I have included all of the options in the fiscal impact statement at the end of my memo, so that you guys can, you know, review and think about which one you guys think would be the best for us. But again, my recommendation is to go with the newer product.
Alderman Parrott.
Thank you. I don't have the information up in front of me right now. Did it have what the differences of the cartridges are for the 7 versus the 10, and then how many cartridges do we typically go through in a year?
Well, that all depends on how ornery people are.
Yeah, I'm training and all. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we do expend cartridges during training, but the cartridge cost is no different. So that's a part of the package. That's a part of the contract. Oh, okay. So they send us every year. They'll send us 2 full cases of cartridges plus 1 full case of training cartridges.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Other questions? Mr. Anderson.
Joe, just for some clarity on page 3 of your proposal here, you mentioned there was a 5% increase each year in the contract price, or did I not understand that correctly?
No, it's not a 5% each year. It's just a 5% over what we're currently paying now.
Okay. I noticed that each year was the same.
Yep.
And I didn't know if that needed to be increased, but.
Nope. No, that'll be a 5-year contract, and that's our annual price locked in.
Thank you.
Approved.
Okay. So is the council okay placing this on the regular agenda? Okay. We'll place item number 10 on the regular agenda. Okay, next item up is item number 11, Depot Event Center lease agreement. I'll start us off and then I'll turn it over to Mr. Hoblet. So since the Logan County Tourism Bureau has vacated the Depot Center, we have invested, Ms. Bateman as well has been involved, getting that building ready to be used by other people. We actually used it for a Gold Star awareness ride, and I thought it was a pretty good event there as well. We've got the floors waxed, stripped and waxed. We have new tables, new chairs, and everything down there for that building to be used for that purpose. Part of that is also the fact that we've probably had like 5 or 6 individual people come forward wanting to rent that space already. So it's like word got out and people expressed an interest. Some of them are a little bit different than others, but we felt that it was, and I believe I spoke with the council in the past about the idea of leasing that out. So we went ahead and moved forward, and I drafted up the start of a lease agreement. Mr. Hoblet has been working on adding in some things that he feels is important for us to consider in there. And so what you see in the packet was, I believe, the initial stab that I took at it. But Mr. Hoblet, if you want to explain some of the additional items that have come up since then, please do.
Certainly. The items that I'm proposing to add are probably are within the alcohol section. So right now we have insurance requirement that it'd be $1 million. I would add that with the dram shop requirement would be $1 million as well. We have proof that they within the right now that they have to provide dram shop, but no limit or amount. So that would add the amount along with the requirement that they get it to us within a certain amount of time. That right now we say that it has to be staffed, but I like to add that it has to be staffed with Bassett certified bartenders who are and they provide said certification. I would like to add as well that a representative from the city may stop and do an event check and during the event and check to make sure that the policy in regards to our alcohol policy is being enforced. Along with a disclaimer or a warning, I guess as well, that failure to strictly comply with these provisions may subject you to criminal or civil penalties, and make reference to our city code as to when alcohol can or cannot be served. So,
And Chief, we'd probably have to work in conjunction with your department on this. Obviously, a city individual, it might make more sense if there were concerns that an officer to stop by and have a conversation.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem at all.
Okay. So the lease agreement is before you for consideration. Thoughts? Is everybody okay if we take Mr. Hoblet's recommendations, incorporate it into the draft, put it in the packet for next week, and then bring it before you for a vote? Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and place item number 11 on the regular agenda. That brings us down to announcements. The only announcements I have this evening is Coffee with the Mayor is this weekend, and Mr. Hoblet and Alderman Sanders are going to join us. I've never had Mr. Hoblet join us, so that'll be something new for us. And thank you for offering to do so. And that, for those watching, that's at 9:00 at the Guest House in downtown Lincoln. Usually goes about an hour. Sometimes it'll go a little longer. It all depends on where the conversation goes. The next item is ribbon cut for the tourism bureaus this weekend as well. That it was published in Lincoln Daily News that the open house would start at 10:00 and that there would be a ribbon cut to kick that off. Got some more clarification. I believe everybody might have got an email. It's at 9:45 for the ribbon cut, and then the open house will begin at 10:00. So if you'd like to attend, 9:45 will be the actual ribbon cut. And that is at the Mill on Saturday, and the address eludes me, but everybody knows where the Mill is. Okay, that's all I have for announcements. Other announcements? Chief Meister.
Yeah, just quickly, I think everybody's aware that there's street resurfacing and sidewalk projects and things like that going on in town right now. It was brought to my attention earlier this evening that there was a resident that was pretty upset about a vehicle being towed. If you leave your car there while these crews are trying to work on the street, you're going to have your vehicle towed, and the police department is not going to pay the tow bill. And complaining about it really isn't going to get very far. So if you have street resurfacing projects or sidewalk projects going on in your neighborhood, make sure that you follow the orders of the signs that say don't park on the street. And if you're an unfortunate resident and your vehicle gets towed, call the construction company. Because they're the ones who called us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Other announcements? Okay. There are no other announcements. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Alderwoman O'Donohue made the motion to adjourn. Alderman Parrott second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. This meeting is adjourned at 7:50 p.m.
You almost said 6 o'clock when we started, didn't you?